Now, success. Let's think about success. We all want, like I said, you want to be successful in that thing. But I'm going to tell you one thing about success. Success, it takes time and it takes practice. Success, oftentimes, most of the time, takes time and it takes practice. Now, I know you see people have success what it seems like overnight. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes people have a quick success. Sometimes you've probably had that situation to where you were successful right away. I've had that before. So I get it. Sometimes we have that. But I tell you what, success doesn't always work like that. And I think that we are now in this day and age, man, what is messing us up is things like social media. Social media is messing us up where you see people, all you see is success. Like you don't see failure in social media. All you see is success, right? And so that can mess us up because then you start to thinking that success is easy. And it's not. It's not always easy. Success takes time and it takes practice. Time and practice, right? And the thing about it, when you log on, you go on Instagram and you see somebody successful, it's one or two things. Either they, either they're only showing, they didn't show you the practice and the time that they took, right? It's like, for instance, Steph Curry. We know he's like the greatest shooter of all time, right? The greatest shooter of all time. But he practices. And see, what we don't see, they don't show the practice on TV. They show the game. They only show the game. They don't show his practice on TV. The practice is not televised, right? And so we watch him on TV and we like, man, he bad. That's a bad boy. And he is a bad boy. And he's super talented. He's super talented. But the thing about it is, with all that talent that he got, he still practices, and he practices a lot. What we don't see is him in the gym practicing and shooting 10,000 shots. We don't see him doing that. And so because of the 10,000 shots, it's not televised, it's not on social media, we don't see that. We think that, oh, he just showed up to the game and just made all those threes. It don't work like that. He spent hours and hours in the gym practicing, shooting thousands and thousands of shots. And that's the thing that you got to do. You got to spend hours practicing and mastering your skill set. Whatever it is that you do, you got to take the time and practice, because it takes practice and it takes time to master any skill. And so like I said, success takes time, it takes practice. And now that I know that changes how I approach situations, right? Where I used to approach situations, thinking that it was going to take less time and I didn't need to practice, and if I failed, I got discouraged. Well, I no longer think like that. I understand that it takes time and it takes practice to achieve success, right? And so, because when you think like that, even when you start something and you struggle or you have some setbacks, you understand, man, it takes time. It takes time. I'm facing a setback, but hey, it takes time. I got time. And then when you struggle at something or when you fail, when you fail, you'll understand that, hey, this is practice. Because success takes time and practice. Success takes practice. When you have the mindset of, hey, success takes time and it takes practice, then you won't quit when you fail at something. You'll just keep going because you're going to have that setback, because success takes practice, right? And so you'll understand that, hey, this is not a failure. This is just practice. I always say this, that in order to change the way you think, in order to start growing and developing and winning and succeeding, you're going to have to change your relationship with failure. You got to change your relationship with failure. Because when you change your relationship with failure, like the relationship that you have with failure now says, oh, if I fail, then that means I need to quit. Or that means this ain't for me. This ain't my calling. This ain't my gift. And whatever you're doing, it might not be your calling. It may not be your gift. And yeah, you might need to recognize that. But sometimes it is your calling. Sometimes it is your gift. Sometimes it is meant for you to do it. It's just that you failed or you ran into a roadblock and you thought that meant quit. You thought that failure was final, but the failure is not final. The failure is just practice, because success takes time and it takes practice. And so you need to, when you get that mindset that, hey, success takes time and practice, whenever you fail at something, you realize, hey, this is just practice and I can go again and I can just keep going and I can keep going. And then you won't get caught up in time. You won't get caught up thinking that you're behind, because again, success takes time. So you don't have to be on somebody else's timeline or the timeline that society says that you should be on, because you realize that success takes time and it takes practice. Now, did I beat that up enough? That success takes time and it takes practice. And so when you have that mindset, it will help you to stay motivated. It will help you to stay committed to whatever you're doing. Because when you know it takes time and practice, you'll stay committed. And if you don't believe that and if you believe that it's supposed to happen sooner, and if you believe that it's supposed to happen right away at the first time, then again, that's a recipe for a disaster. That is going to make you quit and it's going to make you give up. And you'll never reach your goals. You'll never accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, because you're always quitting. And you're always quitting because you have a wrong mindset of how success works. It takes time and it takes practice.